Hey everyone, my name is Yerusha Jimenez and I am an astrologer at Sisters of Eastwick. And I actually want to talk about our Mercury retrograde, which arrives February 17th in Pisces. We already are in shadow, so many of us are beginning to feel that shift. So I know that Mercury retrograde is not something that we all look forward to because of the typical experiences that we have to endure during the retrograde. Mercury rules communication, it rules transportation, it rules the mind, it rules thoughts, and often transportation is delayed, communication gets messed up, we make mistakes, we forget things don't really flow as easily when it comes to anything ruled by the planet Mercury. So yes, that is annoying and it is what it is. However, Mercury retrograde has a deeper meaning, it has a more profound meaning, and I actually enjoy retrogrades despite the headaches that, I do sometimes have to deal with, and the collective does as well. So Mercury retrogrades are resets, they're pauses. They are specifically designed to recenter us, have us revisit areas of our lives that we have needed to see, that we have needed to alter or fix or look at, but we haven't had the ability to because we're just going. Mercury retrogrades reconnects us with people, reconnects us with old friends, sometimes lovers. Mercury retrograde basically is a time where we are asked by the universe to reassess, reevaluate, reconnect, reanalyze, and take a pause and surrender. Now, it is in the sign of Pisces, and the Mercury retrograde is conjunct its own planet, Neptune. So this really strengthens the message of this Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Basically, Pisces is it's one of the most psychic, spiritual signs in the zodiac. And it's a water sign. It's highly, highly psychic. It's highly, highly intuitive. It rules the imagination. It rules music. It rules merging with source, merging with something higher than us. It has to do with mystical experiences. It has to do with enlightenment. It has to do with the dream world, the astral world. It has to do with what we cannot see but exists. Virgo is on the other axis of Pisces, and Virgo is the opposite. Virgo wants to see everything. It wants to have the facts. It wants to have the list. It wants to have tangible information in front of it. It's about logic. It's an earth sign. Pisces is different. It's the opposite. Pisces is about intuition. And so this Mercury retrograde is very powerful. It's asking us to pause like the Hangman Tarot card where we are suspended. And it's asking us to open up ourselves and receive the intuitive downloads that the universe and our higher self are ready to give us. It is time. It is time now that we receive these messages before we go forward. Okay? So the way that you navigate this Mercury retrograde is not through logic and fact. In fact, you won't be given all the facts. You won't be given all the logic. The way you navigate this Mercury retrograde is through the Pisces energy of intuition, is through flow, is through how you feel about things. How do I feel about that person? How do I feel about this situation? How do I feel about this experience? How do I feel about doing this? And to really listen to that intuition. I've downloaded that this Mercury retrograde is here to reconnect you with your intuition, with your innocence, with your creativity, with your imagination. Once Mercury retrograde goes direct, it will go direct in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is about like enlightening, and it's about a sudden awakening. It's like a lightning bolt. So everything that we're doing in this Mercury retrograde in Pisces, if we are receptive like a Pisces, if we pause, if we don't struggle, if we surrender to the retrograde and allow ourselves to receive the spiritual messages, the intuitive messages, if we allow ourselves to remove ourselves from the crowd, spend time alone in solitude, because Pisces rules solitude. It is in silence in this retrograde that you will find your answers. It is in silence, in meditation. It is in connection with something higher than you. So through this retrograde, what you can do is you can use the superpower of any Pisces, which is their imagination. Imagination is a real thing. It's a real realm. It really exists. And so when you use your imagination to create what you want to create during this retrograde, just by simply daydreaming, just by simply imagining, listening to some music as well to kind of heighten that. Pisces rules music. Heighten your vibration while you're imagining. You are planting seeds in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual world. So when Mercury goes direct, a lot of these seeds can manifest. This is a time where we are being given the gift of receiving deep insight about ourselves, about our lives, but this insight is linked to the universe. It's linked for what the universe wants for us. It's linked to our higher self. It's asking us to surrender the ego. It's asking us to surrender the facts of what we think we know and to trust and flow into something else. And since it's opposite Virgo, the information that we are giving, because Virgo is a sign that wants to fix, it wants to heal, it wants to perfect. We are given intuitive information to perfect and to fix once we know that the retrograde has gone direct. Now, this is also a very important time for your dream world. Your dream world is going to be heightened. Your intuition is going to be heightened. The dreams that you have now are very important. It is not a surprise if you dream about actual people that are from your past, or people who have passed over, or people that you've not had contact with for a while, because in this retrograde, that is a way that you're actually connecting to them. Those dreams that you're having, they're actually happening. So the dream world is a real dimension, but if we're only going to look at things from a factual basis, we're not going to believe that. So understand that the dreams that you have right now are important. Write them down. Anybody that comes to you in your dream right now, you are communicating with them. You are experiencing a real interaction with them. Pisces is highly creative. It's highly musical, highly intuitive, highly spiritual. So it's normal during a retrograde to really sort of, this type of retrograde at least, to really sort of feel more of an inclination to go that way. Some of the physical things that you may be feeling is you might be sleepy. You might want to sleep more. Pisces rules sleep. And if that is the case, do it. You might be finding yourself that you're going more into a mode of wanting to relax, wanting to rest. Pisces rules rest. It rules relaxation. Escapism. It's normal to want to escape with a Pisces retrograde, and we can do that in different ways. We can do that through creative endeavors. We can do that through watching TV or film. Pisces rules film. It rules TV. We can do that through music. We can do that through art. And of course, we can do that through other avenues as well, because Pisces does rule altered states. So, sometimes during a Pisces transit, you might want to drink more. Just be aware of that. Pisces rules alcohol. But yeah, I think the most important thing that you need to know about this retrograde is that this is all about your intuition. It's about working with the Pisces energy. It's not about the facts. It's not about the logic. You're not going to be presented the facts and the logic now. That information is not all there. It's not going to be clear to you. But it's about really connecting and going within and tuning in and listening to that. But it's also about connecting to source, to spirit, to God, whatever it is that you feel connected to. And it's about receiving and allowing yourself to receive the intuitive messages that probably have been trying to get you to listen for quite some time. And now this retrograde is asking you to pause, suspend yourself, surrender to the process, and let go. So when you start to enter the Mercury direct, when Mercury goes direct, you will sort of have an awakening. You will see things differently, and you will know what it is you need to do. And so I just wanted to pull a few cards about this retrograde that would be for the collective. And what is it that the collective needs to know throughout this retrograde, this Mercury retrograde on Pisces? Okay. What is it that the collective needs to know about this Mercury retrograde on Pisces? Okay, so the first card that I pulled was New Vision. I pulled the Creator, and then I pulled Isolation. So what this Mercury retrograde is going to give you is it's going to give you a new vision of your life, a new vision of yourself, a new vision of what you want for yourself. But you have to receive that. You have to receive it. You have to allow it to come. This Mercury retrograde in Pisces is also allowing you to connect with the Creator, with Source, but to also understand that it is allowing you to connect with your own creative energy, that you are the creator. And so imagine yourself, using that imagination, imagine yourself, imagine that new vision, imagine that, connect with your creative power, go within. And isolation. If you feel isolated during this time or you need to isolate, it's okay. Understand that there is a process that's going on. I know that we live in a world and in a society where I think we do. So kind of taking time for yourself and isolating is not always encouraged. But in this case, I do feel that having some sort of isolation or experiencing some sort of isolation will actually connect you deeper to your own creative force and your own creative power. And traveling. So understand that Pisces is a sign that can travel. And the way that it travels is it travels through its imagination. It travels astrally. It travels through its dreams. There's a lot of movement going on right now, but it's behind the scenes. It's spiritual. It's not something we can see. And I will pull one more card for this Pisces Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Patience. Have patience throughout this retrograde. There is a period of time. There is a process. So she's pregnant. So understand that this Mercury retrograde is almost like a pregnancy. You are going through your own pregnancy. You are birthing something through this Mercury retrograde. Have patience with it. Allow yourself to go through it. Allow yourself to sit with it. Allow yourself to go through the moon cycle of this Mercury retrograde so you can come out and you will have a new vision that will have been communicated to you by the universe. And your connection with Source is always there. It's always there. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can feel free to comment below. And I just want to wish you an amazing Mercury retrograde. And take it in and receive the information that you are ready to receive.